Trump's first week in office and a Palestinian civil war. It's 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV for Friday, January 24th, 2025. I'm Derek Gilbert. Our Friday 5, the 5 big stories of the week. Item number 5 this week, of course, Donald Trump's first week in office. Very active as he signed a number of executive orders with some very significant implications for the United States. First and foremost, in my opinion, the actions on border security, 10 separate executive orders, including a national emergency declaration that will allow the U.S. Department of Defense to deploy soldiers to the southern border. And as of this recording, that apparently is taking effect. Soldiers being deployed to Texas and other points south to assist in relocating migrants back whence they came. Other executive orders include removing the United States from the World Health Organization, withdrawing the U.S. from the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement, a national energy emergency declaration, which will open up millions of acres in Alaska to fossil fuel development, rescinding an executive order signed by Joe Biden in August of 2021, mandating 50% zero-emission vehicles by the year 2030. That just was never going to happen without the government forcing us to buy vehicles that about 92% of us don't want, based on the percentage of EVs sold in 2024. He also followed through on a promise to pardon participants in the U.S. Capitol breach on January 6th of 2021. 1,500 pardoned, the sentences of 14 others commuted, and an executive order giving TikTok another 75 days to secure a U.S. buyer. Now, having said all that, and given that, despite the fact that I agree with most of these actions, the president of the United States really shouldn't be governing by, the stroke of the pen. This is not how the U.S. government is supposed to work. This really began under George W. Bush less than 25 years ago. And yet it's become so accepted for the president to just sign executive orders that do sweeping things, that our press, which is supposed to be the watchdog of our democracy, you remember the Washington Post's former motto, democracy dies in darkness? They weren't calling out the executive orders of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. Only when it's, Trump or George W. Bush was the media paying any attention. Regardless, doesn't matter which party. The president is not supposed to have this kind of power. Congress needs to step up and start doing its job of legislating instead of the president acting like a king. In the immortal words of the notorious Paul Begala, an advisor to President Bill Clinton, stroke of the pen, law of the land, pretty cool. No, it's not. This is not how this is supposed to work. Topic number 4, the Biden pardons. At least Joe Biden can say he was number one in something, which was issuing more pardons than any president in history, and that's not even close. It's by a long shot. On his way out the door, he pardoned his siblings and their spouses for anything that they might have done beginning January 1st of 2014, which, again, is about the time Joe Biden took over U.S. foreign policy with Ukraine. So what were his brothers Jim and Frank and his sister Valerie, what were they doing that we're not supposed to know about? Now, there are some political commentators, conservatives mainly, who said, well, this is about Joe Biden protecting himself and Jill. Not really. I've pointed out before, and again, tip of the hat to our friend John, former prosecutor in Texas, for pointing this out. When you're accused of a crime, you can invoke the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution, which protects you from incriminating yourself in a crime. However, if you've been granted a full and unconditional pardon, as the Biden siblings and Hunter Biden have been, then you are no longer covered by the Fifth Amendment because you cannot incriminate yourself. Because you've got a pardon. You can't go to jail. So now you must answer a prosecutor's questions, an investigator's questions, or if you're summoned to Congress, the questions of Congress, or you face obstruction of justice, contempt of court, contempt of Congress charges. So Joe Biden may regret having done what he did. And it is worth pointing out that just 4 years ago, Democrats were beside themselves thinking that the outgoing President Trump, President 45, might issue full and unconditional preemptive pardons to his family members. And Now, Senator Adam Schiff, Senator Chuck Schumer, on the record, on video, is saying this is reprehensible, that he would even consider such a thing, just shows the kind of people he's surrounding himself with, referring to President Trump. And then, of course, it was Joe Biden who actually did the thing that they were so upset about. Well, Democrats may come to rue the day that Joe Biden decided to invoke this new power, which has never been tried before. It remains to be seen if these pardons will hold up under legal test. Topic number 3, Israel. What appears to have been a civil war on the streets of Jenin, which is in northern Samaria, the northern end of what the world calls the West Bank, on the border between Samaria and the Galilee, the lower Galilee. The town of Jenin was the site of a gun battle going on for some weeks between the Palestinian Authority's security forces and Hamas gunmen. Well, the PA has withdrawn and Israel has now gone in. The IDF launching Operation Iron Wall, a wide-ranging operation inside the city of Jenin. This began Tuesday. Several Hamas terrorists killed. This operation meant to last several days, but it could go much longer. This includes drones and helicopter support. There are reportedly also tanks in the vicinity, although not inside the city of Jenin itself. Shin Bet, which is the Internal Security Services, and other agencies are taking part in this action. Again, this city, Jenin, is close to Israeli cities in the lower Galilee, and so Israel wants to clean it out. But apparently, the Palestinian Authority, Fatah, and Hamas, which has got a 20-year rivalry. I mean, Fatah was supposed to be in charge of Gaza 20 years ago, and Hamas rose up and basically killed the Fatah operatives inside Gaza, which is why Hamas wound up in charge of Gaza. They had a long-running, in fact, in a gun battle that took place week before last, 5 Palestinian Authority officers and 6 Hamas terrorists were killed. So again, this is ongoing as of this recording. Interesting. We think of the Palestinian Arabs, or at least the media portrays them as a unified body. They are not. Topic number 2, Russia and Iran. This will make, and has made, end times prophecy students stand up and take notice. Russia and Iran signed a 20-year agreement on last Friday, the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Treaty. Russia hailing this as bringing relations with Iran to a whole new level. This covers defense, counterterrorism, energy, finance, transport, industry, agriculture, science, and engineering. They're working on linking their payment systems since Russia's been kicked out of SWIFT, which is the international payment processing system for credit cards and things. Russia's been kicked out, so Russia and Iran now working on this. I also note that the BRICS nations, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, also now including the UAE, Saudi Arabia has been invited, Iran, Egypt, and others. They're working on developing a central bank digital currency, as are the G7 nations, which includes the US, UK, Canada, et cetera, et cetera. So, things very interesting developing around the world in terms of what to look for in end times prophecy. For the record, I do not believe that Russia is the land of Magog, but that's for another day. Coming up, you're not getting old. You're developing superpowers. Seriously, I'll explain next on 5 and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now you can help the Skywatch TV ministry continue to broadcast the gospel of Jesus Christ to the 4 corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this incredible new work when you order the Destination Earth Ultra Collection. This incredible collection not only includes the brand new book Destination Earth, Ancient Aliens, the Ancient of Days, and the ancient plot to hybridize humanity that reveals for the first time ever Christ's own words that refute the alien God interpretation, who and what aliens originally were according to the Bible, how they fit into the Antichrist's agenda, and more. But you'll also receive the documentary film, The Great Delusion, the second coming of Earth's oldest enemy, that exposes why the Vatican is in possession of a telescope named Lucifer, why the ancient and mysterious civilization known as the Anasazi suddenly disappeared from historic record, how alien abductions might be connected with chapter 6 of the book of Genesis, and so much more, featuring legendary interviews with Dr. Chuck Missler, L.A. Marzulli, Dr. Thomas Horn, Nick Pope, and more. But that's not all. You'll also receive the best-selling book, Encounters, Extraordinary Accounts of Angelic Intervention and What the Bible Actually Says About God's Messengers by Allie Anderson and Donna Howell. This paradigm-shattering work details true accounts of angelic intervention as told by those who have experienced them. It reveals how misconceptions regarding angels came to be and how the early church unintentionally propagated the myth that these beings are weak, and frameworks the fierce capacity of angels' powers, including their strength in warfare, ability to fly, and how they manipulate earthly elements to carry out God's will, and more. All of these items hold a retail value of over $65. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. Support the ministry of Skywatch TV today. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Destination Earth Ultra Collection right now.
Item number 1 today, old guys rule, because we know stuff like how to read cursive. I say old guys, I mean old ladies too. I mean, those of us who are now of a senior persuasion. In our county here in Missouri, I am now officially designated a senior citizen. And that means we've got superpowers because the National Archives, needing volunteers who can read cursive to transcribe more than 300 million digitized documents in its catalog. And the National Archives saying that this skill is a superpower. Why? Because less than half the states in the Union now teach students how to read cursive anymore. We're all going to typing and texting. So cursive is becoming a lost skill. The organization has registered over 5,000 citizen archivists, volunteers, something you can do on your own. They say there's no application. You just pick a record that hasn't been done, read the instructions. It's easy to do for a half hour a day or a week. Something you want to do in your spare time. It is a superpower. These documents range from Revolutionary War pension records to the 1950 census. Preserving the past with your superpower of reading cursive. I would also add that driving a stick shift is also becoming an old guy superpower. This week on Skywatch TV, we continue discussing Destination Earth. It's the book I co-authored with Donna Howell and Allie Anderson proudly on the UAP phenomenon. That's what the cool kids call UFOs these days. Also deals with the question, is God an alien? Well, short answer, of course, is no, not in the sense that UFO believers mean. But we also discuss the ancient aliens concept and where it originated. And believe it or not, it comes right out of the occult. Don't miss the programs. You can watch them right now at skywatchtv.com, where all of our video content is always located. You can watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule, dates, times, channels, networks, that's posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, you can watch it on a set-top box, Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, if you've got a smart TV preloaded with Fire TV or Roku. Please add the Skywatch TV channel to it. All of our video content will come right to your big screen then. You can watch it on the internet, youtube.com/@skywatchtelevision, rumble.com/skywatchtv, or you can bring it right into your smartphone or tablet. Download it for offline viewing. There's other features on that mobile app as well, like a Bible, multiple translations, audio Bible, in fact, and much more. It's available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. We have links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. If you donated to Skywatch TV, just a reminder, in 2024, thank you. First and foremost, thank you. But please keep an eye on your email. We'll be sending out receipts for donations for the purposes of submitting it with your 2024 tax returns to Internal Revenue Service. That'll be coming to you via email from Skywatch TV. 5 in 10 online. We're at YouTube at 5 in 10. X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.